Well, a whole 16 minutes late. I think that's a record. It might be. I don't know. Well, this is Simo-san. You never know. I mean, you plan things out, and then sometimes they just don't work out. I think I'm making excuses, is what it is. Guys, hop on here real quick and see if we can get the show on the proverbial road. See if we can hit the tires and light the fires. All right, I'm over here at Simo-san Building, plot number 8585 on Simon Mwewa Lane. And as you know, even though it's a holiday today, there is no holiday when it comes to Simo-san. Simo-san is like New York City. And I know some of you are going to start saying, mwewa, you're comparing Simo-san to New York. You're being over ambitious. No, what I'm trying to say is that this place hardly sleeps, even though it's a holiday. When you come to this part of town, honey, it doesn't feel like a holiday. You know why? Because everybody hustles. We hustle from Monday to Monday, mate. We don't have any days off. We don't take a break. Break? Honey, we don't even know what break means at Simo-san. We come to hustle, and we hustle until the wheels fall off. What you guys need to do is jump into the comment section and start typing mwewa, Simon, Simon. We can hear you loud and clear. The moment you start talking like that, I can see, who's that? Is that Taffrey? Jamul? I'm nearsighted, so you have to forgive me. The moment you say loud and clear, watching you from Birmingham, Birmingham, mate. Do you know that in England, they say Birmingham? In America, they say Birmingham. So Birmingham, England, and Birmingham, Alabama. Same word, different pronunciations. And by the way, it is pronunciations, not pronunciations. You can say pronounce, but you shouldn't say pronunciation. It's pronunciation. I thought I'd throw in a quick English lesson there, you know, as is my custom. You know, it's part of my DNA. Loud and clear, Linda Scott. Linda Scott from where? Thank you. Hey, Matthew Cuckoo. I really should be looking at it on my phone here. But I'll just go ahead and, because, you know, sometimes I look at the monitor and then it sort of gives me an idea of where we are. So what I'm going to do now is just to suss out the thingamabob, just so that we're on the same page. I'm not so sure about the lighting, though. Tell me in the comments if the lighting is lighting. If it's not gelling, then it's not jello. You know, that old saying. All right, guys, let's get into it. Please do me a favor. Please share this live if you can, and sort of tell your friends that you think might be interested in this conversation to just jump on real quick and see if we can get this this show on the road. Loud and clear, Mr. Moore. Kabwe is watching. Is it really? You know, it's been a while since I've been to Kabwe. Kabwe. Thank you. Three things I'd like to talk to you about. The first thing is the UPND youth, in as far as today's Youth Day is concerned. This is my observation. I think that the UPND, or any political party, has a very good opportunity on this day to sort of mobilize the youth and begin to proselytize them in terms of developmental ideas, in terms of infusing a sense of purpose in who they are. It's a really good opportunity, and I think that if it's taken lightly, it slips through political parties' fingers. For instance, I noticed on my way to work, and to be honest with you, it was very impromptu. It wasn't planned. It's not like last night I decided that, you know, at a certain time I was going to stop and then start filming and interviewing UPND youth. It wasn't that way at all. I was on my way, literally en route to the office this morning, and I noticed a bunch of youth, you know, gathered, and I've seen this many times over the years. And so this morning I decided to pull over, and I parked in the arcade's parking lot. I took out my phone, I pressed record, and I started walking through the crowd, interviewing different people. My observation, number one, anytime you have a group of youth gathered in that way, it doesn't matter what political party they're from, it doesn't matter which political party they are affiliated with. Always, 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 1,000 times always, make sure that you have heavy police presence. That's number one. If you don't have police presence, anything can happen. You know, that old saying, whatever's not policed cannot be controlled. And so that was my observation. We had about 15, maybe 10,000 kids, youth, young people gathered near arcades there. And I saw very, very little police presence. Why that was, I have no idea. And I did like the fact, though, that the leaders of the different groups, you know, they had people from Matero, people from Kanyama, people from so-and-so. The different respective leaders of those groups were trying to preach to the young people. They tried to tell them, look, when you start marching and we're in the procession, don't get involved in hooliganism or thievery. If you are caught breaking the law, you are on your own. Some of them were doing that, and they were fine to do that. But that should have been supplementary. The substance of the matter should have been heavy police presence, especially on a day like that. So moving forward, no pun intended, moving forward, I really think that, you know, the law enforcement needs to step up to the plate. Don't leave gaps like that. You know, I would imagine that there's someone at Central Police, the Commissioner of Police. I would imagine that they have intel that this event is going to take place. And when you have that intel, police, law enforcement, please act on it. Please make sure that the citizens are protected, because not everybody that shows up has good intentions. Anytime you have a bunch of youth, okay, a lot of unemployed youth that come together on this particular day, if they are not aware of police presence, it could easily go pear-shaped. And I did hear that there were a few pockets of areas that have had a few lawless incidences. Well, that happens when you don't have heavy police presence. I know it's costly, but that's the cost of freedom and peace. Okay, I know. It's you know, lots of money is required to send out police personnel, law enforcement, but that's the price you pay. You know, you have to do that in order to protect, in order to maintain peace, tranquility. You have to do that, and I thought in that regard, law enforcement sort of dropped the ball there. And you know, there's always 2026, you know, Youth Day 2026. Please take this as a learning point and make sure that next year, when the youth do meet in this fashion, that you have heavy police presence. It helps an awful lot. Okay, secondly, I want to talk about this nuisance, this gnat, this purveyor of chaos, this vagabond, this moocher, this bottom feeder, this despot, this leech, this parasite, this tick of a human being, this reject, this product of a deranged mind, this caterpillar, this sniveling snake, this cobra, this, oh, I could go on, honey. Okay, I could be here all day. I can spew out all of these adjectives when it comes to this guy named Why Me. Apparently, he sort of released a video about 2 hours ago where he titled the video "My Last Words," because as you know, Why Me is somebody that he has taken it upon himself to not only disparage, not only insult, not only disrespect, not only cuss, to use a colloquialism, not only cuss the head of state out, But he has decided in his twisted, misguided wisdom to insult the entire southern province. And then he coats it, and this is what I find so reprehensible. This is what I find so offensive. He coats all of this rhetoric and calls it, I'm trying to maintain freedom of speech. I'm fighting for freedom of speech. No, you're not. You're fighting for an opportunity to spew hate, to spew tribalism, to spew vulgarity, insele. That's all you're trying to do. Why me? That's if you're still alive. If you're dead, you're not going to know I said this, So I'll talk about that later. But first of all, let me say this. So let's not get it twisted. For some of you that are misguided, because there are many of you that, and when he comes on, you cheer him on. Oh, baby, tell them. What's he going to say? Because all he ever does is insult, swear, cuss, use profanity. From 6 to 6. There are no checks. In fact, if anything, he's not even qualified to provide any form of checks and balances. It wouldn't be so bad if he did. That can at least be understood, if not condoned. But for him to come across like he's trying to fight for freedom of speech, I'm trying to fight for you, Zambians. No, you're not. You're trying to maintain a spirit of insolence. You're trying to create an atmosphere where young people refuse to respect authority. You're trying to foster an environment of rebellion against authority. That's all you're doing. That's all you stand for. That's all you push. That's all you promote. There is not one single patriotic bone in your body. So don't sit there all smug talking about, I'm fighting for freedom of speech. No, you're not. That's a bunch of bull roar, and you know it. Bunch of crock. You're not fighting for freedom of speech. You're fighting for another opportunity to use profanity. Insele. That's all you're fighting for. And for those of you young people that cheer him on, you haven't done the right thing. So here it is. Waime was this character. His surname is Kapwepwe. And I've said this many times. That is too big of a name for him to carry. The name Kapwepwe is a revered, celebrated name. You cannot talk about Zambian politics without mentioning the name Kapwepwe. One of our luminaries, one of our 1,000 points of light in the history of this nation, carried that name, the great Simon Kapwepwe. And here it is, you got this joker walking around with the same name. I tell you what you should do. You should get rid of that last name. It's too heavy for you. It's too mountainous for you. It's too overbearing for you. You cower and you crumble in the shadow of that name. You don't deserve it. Never have. So anyway, he had gone on this quest to start cussing and do all this stuff. He got arrested because the truth is, guys, whether you like it or not, the truth is there are laws that protect you and I from this sort of behavior. There is a legal digital framework that exists to protect you and I from that sort of behavior. So here it is. He was arrested first time. He spent almost a year in prison. He was set free after being found guilty. The moment he was released, the Word of God says, can a leopard change its spots? Can an Ethiopian change the shade of his melanin? The answer is no. You can't do it. What's in you is in you. What is encoded in your behavior will rear its ugly head when the time presents itself. So here it is. I knew it. Everybody knew it. I knew why me was going to fall back into the same trap. I knew that he was going to set himself up. I knew that he was going to do the predictable. I knew. I sat up here and I told you. It's got nothing to do with prophecy. It's got everything to do with common sense. I knew every bone in his body was screaming to spew and to vomit tribalism, to spew and to vomit the disdain he has for the head of state. I knew he was going to do it. And sure enough, here he comes. The other day he gets on social media, switches on the phone, boom, presses record, and here it came out. And the moment it came out again, I said to myself, oops, there it is. See that Leonardo DiCaprio TikTok? There it is. The moment that happened, I said, oops, there it is. He's gone. He's gone. He's gone. He's gone. He's gone. He's gone. Listen, man. The Lord needs to put a line through his name instead of under it. Now, here's the thing. He knows the noose is tightening around his neck. He knows it. He knows that his head is under the guillotine. He knows it. And so he releases a video where he presents himself like a martyr. He says, I'm going to die. He says, I'm going to go back to jail, but I'm not going to go as a live human being. I'm going to go as a corpse. I'm going to die, he says. I'm going to lay my life down for the Zambian people, he says. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give, he thinks he's the Lord Jesus Christ. He thinks he's crucifying himself for the Zambian people. Honey, why me? Let me tell you. Iwenga wafwa lelo. Ngachakweba tuwa ipaya. Okay? Wabula chite wanwa dum. Wayako kuntwani kule ku Victoria Falls. Waiposa musotunia. Wabula kareza. Waichita ntwani. No mulapo wachita fwa. If you do any of that, why me? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You know why? Let me tell you why. The earth does not rotate on your axis. I want you to get that. I want you to understand that. The moment you understand that, the quicker you realize just how insignificant you are. The quicker you understand that, the more you will understand just how inconsequential you are. If in fact, let's say they don't have that video was maybe, an hour, 2 hours ago? Let's assume now, okay? Now what doom now for? Tualalosha. Tulelosha, inkoko kuchiriro tukesadia. Tukakushika. The moment tuakushika, the traffic on Great East Road is going to be the same. The traffic on Cairo Road is going to be the same. My Netflix subscription next month is going to ping on my phone demanding payment. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to tell you that nothing will change. Why me? Iwenga wafwa tukakulosha tukalila ifilamba fika fikono. But the sun's going to come up. Oh, the sun's going to come up, boy. The earth is going to continue to rotate on its axis. Ain't nothing going to change. You're nothing, you're nobody. You are a gnat. Good riddance. If you do go, good riddance. It's true. I'm serious. All right, okay. Lastly, what was the last thing? Somebody tell me in the comments if he's gone yet. Nobody cares, guys. I mean, look, the greatest entertainer in the world, bless his heart, God rest his soul, one of the most decent human beings on the planet. I won't call his name, you know who I'm talking about. He passed away, and that day was a horrible day. You know, we mourned for, I think the whole planet was in mourning for at least a few months. But now we remember him. But nothing changed. The world didn't stop. You know, so I find it so amusing. I love you, Zambians. I love you. I'm speaking for you. Just go. Goodness. Could you hurry up? Okay. Could the doom do the thing, for goodness sake? Okay. Could the rope tighten any quicker? It's true. If you can dish it out, you can take it. All right. What was the last thing? Guys, tell me in the comments. I had 3 things I want to talk to you about. What was it? What was the last thing? I forget. Please tell me in the comments. Am I reading? How dare you call him wacko? Don't say wacko. Okay? Don't call him that. If you're a real MJ fan, you would never call him that. All right, tell me, what was I saying? What was the third one? Please remind me, because at my age, sometimes I forget. What was it? What was it? Tell me. Oh, right, Tianna and Chile won. That's right. So, the other day, I'm going through my news feed, and I keep calling her Tatiana. And that's not her name. Her name is Tianna. And please forgive me when I call her that. It's an honest mistake. I don't do it deliberately. I met this young lady once, very amiable girl. Do you know the word amiable? Tell me in the comments. I've never met Chile one. I've only seen him on social media, and I've never met him personally. But a very talented young man, a brilliant young man. And Tianna, his fiance, amiable young girl. Very likable, She's got a very engaging personality, She's really good on social media and things. Well, the other day, I'm scrolling through my newsfeed, and then all of a sudden I see this video. And let me describe this to you. It's Chile 1 and Tianna standing facing each other in front of a camera. So he sort of motions for her to face him directly, and she's standing in front of him in this beautiful long from the neck silk one-piece dress, and she's braless, completely braless, and braless simply means she doesn't have a bra on, and her mammaries are out there. They are screaming. Okay, mammaries are breasts. Okay. That's a very polite way of saying breasts. When I was a kid, you couldn't say breasts. We used to say mammaries, okay? So she's standing there with, and you can clearly see her mammaries. And so Chile 1 is facing her, and then all of a sudden, and as you're watching this video, you're thinking, what are they going to start singing? Are they going to start tap dancing? What are they going to start doing? I wasn't sure. All of a sudden, Chile 1 does the unthinkable. He slaps Tianna's mammaries. He does that, and he did it with a sound. There was a slap sound. The slap didn't come from the actual slapping from the mammaries. It was an added sound effect that augmented the sound. So he slapped her mammaries, pap, pap, and you can see them juggle, and then they both laugh. When I saw that, first of all, and I'm being serious when I say this, when you are a young couple, a relationship is difficult to begin with anyway, with or without social media. But when you amplify your relationship under the lens of social media, and you pull stunts like slapping your girlfriend's mammaries on Facebook, on TikTok, in front of a camera, do you know what you're saying to your audience? Now, to some of you, this may sound mundane. To some of you, this may sound like I'm making a big deal, but the truth is it's not. I'm much older than you. I know what I'm talking about. This is the problem with young people. When you advise young people, they're so upset They look at you with rancor and disdain. How dare you tell me what to do? Well, that's the reason you're in the mess that you're in, you kids. It's because you don't receive instruction. You know why? Because we've been where you haven't been yet. We have walked a trail that you haven't walked yet. We have blazed a trail that you are yet to discover. We've been there before you even thought of being there. So we know what the hell we're talking about. So far be it from you or anybody else to start saying, oh no, you can't tell me what to do, Mr. Mwewa. Okay, I'll live my own life. Really? What, so you don't receive counsel? You don't? That's your problem. It's going to turn around and slap you in the memories. Mark my words. If you don't follow what I'm trying to teach you, one day, all of this is going to turn around and slap both your memories. And it's going to throw you for a curb, I tell you. It's going to slap you so fast, you won't even know what hit you. That's what's going to happen. Okay? So when you hear older people give you advice, listen. You would do well to listen. The other thing that Chile One is teaching his audience when he does that, especially in the music industry. Now, I'm a music fans, mashiru. I'm a Twitter, I'm a fans. I'll never forget Danny Masekonse. You know Danny Masekonse? Danny, the legend. Danny that sang Defionava, Novewadi Shiva, Defionava, Novewadi Shiva, Shishive Chankolele. Danny, I remember years ago, my wife and I, we invited him over to our house and we had dinner. The most wonderful guy, Danny. We love him so much. Well, Danny shared a story with us. He says, you know, Zambian fans, they're very radical. He said, I remember there were times I'd be going to the stage. I'm walking through the crowd. I'm elbowing my way through the crowd en route to the stage. And these people that call themselves my fans, they say they're devoted to me and my music. These same people would reach and pull my dreads out of my head and say, Yochi dining when I wear. Kabi pa stage twimbere nyimbo weshirwe. You think twice I'm kwangala kuno. Na tulipirama 20 kwacha. That was in those days. Na tulipama 20 kwacha. Kembe weshiro. You know. We got Danny way. That's the truth. That's how crazy some fans are. Now, when Chile One does things like that, I foresee a situation where Chile One is walking with tianna to the stage. What do you think one of the fans is going to do to Tianna? Because they watched Chile One do that to his girlfriend. You don't think that one of the fans is going to reach over and, hey, Tianna! Pow! Kabli boyfriend over ale to chita slap na for to slapping echo. What I'm telling you is the truth. Huh? You think I'm joking? It's not a joke. That is how Zambians are. That is what I'm talking about. That is what Chile One is teaching his fans. We get one do you pa stage. Ni pow! Robo! Slip in a real quick pow! Woo! Lord. Did you see that? Did you see them jiggle, boy? That's what you're teaching your fans. You teach your fans how to treat your woman. If you're disrespecting your woman in that way, that's exactly how your fans are going to treat her. Respect her. Love her. Guys, I'm not trying to be, because some of you on here say, but you're not a man. If we have got no interest in that Union. We are just giving advice. That's all. It is either you take it or you leave it. Was it per Facebook mwali pen? Huh? She is not your woman. You can't talk like that. Those are his memories. I mean, those breasts are for Mr. Chile one. Huh? They're for Chile one. Those breasts. Don't be silly. Okay? Don't be silly. Respect your woman. Not everything is for public consumption. It's not. Okay? All right. Thought I'd share that with you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.